We are live. That's GG's Live. Grand Prix Columbus 2012. I am Sheldon Menery. I am joined by Ben Swartz here in the booth for what looks like to be a very interesting match between Mike Vasovski and Jonathan Benson. There's a shot of Mike and his Bret Michaels hat.
He's piloting a Hive Mind deck, playing against Jonathan Benson. Jonathan Benson's playing a Hive Mind deck, who's playing against Mike Vasovski, who's playing a Nyapod deck. So a little something different, change of pace.
Yeah, this certainly. I mean, again, we've talked all through the broadcast about this field being so wide open. You can kind of play what you want. You can play some crazy combo deck. The field is not extremely well defined. It's not well play tested, and there are certainly corners of it that people haven't explored yet.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting to see Jonathan here using Hive Mind. There's so many other combo decks in the format. As his opponent's playing, there's Nyapod, there's Storm, there's Splinter Twin combo. In the realm of blue-red combo decks, Hive Mind is the one that sort of gets forgotten about. But here we see him with only 2 losses in this tournament, still in top 8 contention, battling with Hive Mind.
So turn 1, Mike Vasovski has taken him all the way into 6. Then he's got the first turn play he needs, which is a mana accelerant.
Yep, Noble Hierarch for him.
I don't know.
And let's see what Jonathan has. He's probably going to want to set up his hand to be able to Hive Mind early, play a couple rituals.
Probably a Serum Visions or sleight of hand here.
You're playing combo.
One of the cards that Marshall was looking at Jonathan's deck list he didn't understand was Ethereal Usher. That card costs 6 mana and has Transmute, so you're able to transmute it to go get Hive Mind, which is pretty important. Or maybe it costs 5 mana? 5 mana. I should know. I've played Hive Mind before. No, it's 6.
Ethereal Usher is from Ravnica. It's an uncommon. Costs a blue and 5 and a blue. It's 2/3 guy that has Transmute for blue 1. And for blue and a tap, target creature is unblockable this turn.
But it's likely that Jonathan's not going to use that ability. He's not even going to play Ethereal Usher. He wants to transmute it to go find a Hive Mind, find a piece of his combo. And here we see a turn 2 Kitchen Finks from Mike Vasovski.
So that's basically a 3-mana tutor.
Yeah, Ethereal Usher. That goes along with all of his deck manipulation, like Sleight of Hand. You see him cast here for a second time, Telling Time, Serum Visions, all of those things.
His one method of protecting the combo is Remand. Generally, if he's got the pieces out, all he really needs is a turn.
Yeah. He plays Hive Mind, plays a Pact or 2. He also has Pact of Negation, which a lot of people forget about as a way of protecting the combo. If you play Hive Mind and then your opponent counters it, you can Pact of Negation, and then if you've got another Pact, Pact them, and they lose.
There's another Serum Visions.
I know in Legacy, a key play with the Hive Mind deck was end of turning Intuitioning. Your opponent would usually think, I'm not going to counter Intuition, I'll just counter whatever he gets, and you get 3 Pact of Negations, and then it's your turn, and you can happily cast the Pacts, but no Intuition in this format. So Jonathan...
Looks like no red mana here for Jonathan Benson. We see the ritual in his hand.
Yeah, looking at his list, he's not playing too many red sources. He's playing the fetched lands, Steam Vents, Mountain, and Simian Spirit Guide to accelerate his combo. So I'm looking in his hand. Can't quite get a good look at what he has, but Mike, on the other hand, is right out of the gates with Birthing Pod. No third land for him, though.
So turn 2 Kitchen Finks, turn 3 Birthing Pod seems okay.
But I think what's really critical here is that without that land, Mike's further away from being able to pay for Pact of the Titan. If Jonathan were to go off here or even the next turn, Mike would be unable to pay for Pact of the Titan, even though he has red mana in his deck.
So Jonathan cracks a Scalding Tarn to get his Mountain, playing the very beautiful old school unglued lands.
Let's see what he does with access to that.
Well, is that a Seething Song there at the top of his?
Yeah, I saw a Pyretic Ritual, a Seething Song, and a Pact. I do not see a Hive Mind. Let's see if he got it off the sleight of hand. Nope.
Wasn't that a Pact of Negation?
He had a Pact of the Titan and a Slaughter Pact and a Pact of Negation, I believe.
So he's Pact-rific. I mean, these are basically 2 raw combo decks.
Yep.
Although, like Mike is doing, he's just getting in the red zone with his Kitchen Finks.
Yeah,
he's got Jonathan down to 9.
Yeah, Kitchen Finks plus Noble Hierarch leads to dealing quite a bit of damage early, but now Mike's going to go ahead and use Birthing Pod to get rid of his Noble Hierarch. Jonathan's got a response, though. He's going to Telling Time. I always liked Telling Time. I thought that a lot of people had forgotten about it as a card, especially once Ponder and Preordain got banned from Modern. People completely forgot of Telling Time as a sort of card selection card. The problem with Telling Time is the reason why people want to play these 1-mana cantrips is they work so well with Snapcaster Mage. Telling Time at 2 mana makes it a little harder to work into a Snapcaster Mage deck. It's better for a combo deck like Jonathan's.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan's is a raw combo deck. He's got no other path to victory.
Sorry?
Well, I mean, I guess he could resolve a Pact of the Titan and beat down with it.
I'm sure he's done that once or twice this tournament, I'd have to guess.
And make it unblockable
with
make it ethereal, I'm sure.
So Aethersworn Canonist comes out.
So 1 spell a turn for you, sir.
And that's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, Mike knew his deck, knew he could pot away the Noble Hierarch. He doesn't, you know, if he's got Jonathan down, that's a Slaughter Pact.
Yep, Slaughter Pact's going to take out the Aethersworn Canonist, and Jonathan actually tutored up a Water Grave to be able to pay for that next turn. But it looks like he's going to go Pyretic Ritual into Seething Song into Hive Mind, and if Mike doesn't have an answer for this, Jonathan's got Pact of the Titan, and Pact of Negation.
So I have 2 I have to pay for, huh?
Meaning that's game.
That's game.
Jonathan Benson takes the first game here in round 13.
Kind of like out of nowhere.
Yeah. He told some time, found that Hive Mind he needed, killed the Aethersworn Canonist with the Slaughter Pact in his hand, played Hive Mind with the rituals, and then Pact. Mike could not pay the mana for Pact, so he lost the game.
So what do you think we're going to see out of the sideboard from these two guys?
So it's interesting. Like you were saying, Jonathan is playing a dedicated Hive Mind combo deck. Looking at his sideboard, Leyline of Sanctity, Defense Grid, Hercule's Recall for maybe an Affinity deck, but he's probably going to bring in his Lightning Bolts for the Hate Bears. He saw Aethersworn Cannon's first game.
Sure.
He wants to be able to kill that. And on top of that, he'll be able to get rid of Kiki Jiki if Mike is able to combo off. From Mike's deck, he's likely going to bring in Talia, Guardian of Thraben, to slow him down and make it more difficult to get his combo out. He might want to bring in... Ooh, he's got an interesting sideboard. He might want to bring in some of the land destruction spells, although probably not. He's got Fulminator Mage and Avalanche Riders. But yeah, it looks like probably Talia is the only card he really wants to bring in.
Talia is pretty rough on the combo decks.
He has Kusali Pride Mages in the sideboard, but that doesn't really do too much against Hive Mind, because as soon as you cast Hive Mind, you're going to have a Pact to play.
Right.
Most of the time.
And it's going to trigger no matter what.
Yeah. So that looks to be the sideboard plan, I'd have to say.
So not a huge sideboard plan from either player. I mean, Talia is something Mike would love to stick, and that he might just pot away something on an early turn in order to get Talia into play.
Yeah. I mean, you saw him do that last game with Aethersworn Canonist. He potted away his
Hierarch.
Yeah, Noble Hierarch. And it, fortunately for Jonathan, didn't make a difference because of the Slaughter Pact. So, should be an interesting game. It was interesting to see Jonathan go off there. And I've always been a fan of Hive Mind decks. I know Pro Tour Amsterdam top 8 competitor really loves, Tom Ma really loves a Hive Mind deck. So
yeah, it's almost, Hive Mind is a dedicated combo deck, but it doesn't feel like it goes off. It just happens.
Yeah.
You know, Affinity goes off because there's a lot of steps involved. There's
Storm combo.
Or Storm combo, right. There's steps involved. This is just blah. There it is.
Yeah, I really liked Hive Mind in Legacy when Mental Misstep was still around, because it sort of skirted... Mental Misstep was countering all of the combo decks because all of them relied on 1-mana things, but Hive Mind played no 1-mana spells except for Ponder and Preordain. And so when everybody had all of these 4 Mental Missteps in their deck, they were blank cards.
Right.
And people... Interestingly, when Hive Mind was played, would keep their Mental Missteps and not counter Ponder and Preordain, which made no sense. But now that Mental Misstep is banned, you don't see it too often in Legacy. You see more of the sneak and show decks, ones that try to sneak into play Emrakul or Sneak Attack or Gristlebrand now, and fewer Hive Mind decks. But it's interesting to see somebody use it in Modern. So it looks like the players are getting ready for the second game here. Jonathan Benson up a game.
So remember, Mike Vasovski actually mulliganed to 6 in that game too, so he was a little bit behind. I'm not sure the one card matter. Looks like he's going to 6 again.
Oof.
That was a snap call. I think that was a 0 lander. We got a flash of the quarter calling, but that was about it.
I think the mulligan actually mattered a little bit because Mike was stuck on land for 2 turns.
That's true.
It's unclear whether or not he would have been able to combo off before Jonathan comboed off, but he was close to just killing Jonathan via damage.
Right.
Jonathan was at 9 life, I believe, at the end of the game.
Yeah, the Kitchen Finks and the Noble Hierarch. I mean, that's 4 a turn.
Yep.
So that turns that definitely turns the clock up, especially since Jonathan had fetched once or twice.
Yeah. And it might be that in this game something similar happens. If Jonathan has an aggressive start, or rather if Mike has an aggressive start, Jonathan doesn't have really too much to deal with creatures. He's got the Slaughter Packs. Now he's probably boarding in Lightning Bolts, but if he can't put his combo together in time, Mike can very easily either combo him more quickly or attack him for damage.
Right. Well, again, Mike has more than one path to victory. The pod deck can just become a creature deck that beats down.
And that's one of the things I like about this Birthing pod deck. And looks like Mike's going to start things off with a Stomping Ground. Let's see what Jonathan has. Turn 1, Sleight of Hand. Nope, Serum Visions. He's got a Sleight of Hand waiting in the wings. Looks like a pair of Serum Visions on the top of his deck. He's going to figure out what he wants to do with that, using the Scry ability off of Serum Visions. Considering his options. And this is an important thing about these combo decks, is figuring out exactly where you want to be a couple turns in the future when you've got these card selection cards like Serum Visions,
right,
Sleight of Hand, Telling Time. Being able to map out your turns, because you know your game plan. You're only playing one level.
Right.
Mike, on the other hand, might need to think, how do I maximize both attacking him and being able to combo? Whereas Jonathan just knows, what's the quickest way I can play Hive Mind and play a Pact with protection?
Yeah. I mean, he knows that the pod deck's not playing any counter spells.
Yeah.
Unlike the crazy pod version
with Glen Elendra Archmage.
With the Archmage, yeah.
So another Serum Visions for Jonathan here. Looking over the 2 Scry cards. I think he's got a fetch land anyway, so... Oh, no, it's a Steam Fence. Okay.
No. He's going to play that untapped.
Yeah, so he has a Serum Vision, or a Sleight of Hand in hand. So... Oh, another Serum Vision. Never mind. I was thinking he put both on top because he knew he wanted one and didn't want the other. And if he was going to Sleight of Hand, then he would put one on bottom anyway.
There's a Bolt and a Ritual. Well, actually, a Seething Song, sorry.
So nice. I believe he's got 1 Seething Song in hand and 1 on top of his library, and a Hive Mind in his hand. So he's very close to going off. Kitchen Finks.
Kitchen Finks. Life totals kind of don't matter.
Yeah, I think Jonathan just goes off here.
To Mike. There's tap and a blue. Sleight of Hand. Keeping...
Oh, it's not 2 Seething Songs.
It's a bolt.
2 bolts in a Seething Song, yeah. I missed that. And that Spellskite is really doing work on that, on those lightning bolts. And a Scalding Tartan for Jonathan. Looks like he'll have to pass it back. Needs 1 more mana to be able to combo off.
Oh, no land drop. No land drop for Mike and a go.
Ooh.
Not even getting in with the Kitchen Finks.
Yeah, I think he's got a Quarter Calling in hand that he wants to convoke later on. He can actually...
Oh, he does, yeah.
Convoke into an Aethersworn Canonist in the middle of Jonathan's combo. So, like, if Jonathan plays a Seething Song, Mike can convoke into Aethersworn Canonist is an effective counter to it. Or effectively countering.
Although he doesn't know that Jonathan has the lightning bolt in hand.
That's true. But I think the math works out so that even if...
Oh yeah, it still does, because he can't play the bolt.
Yeah, he still can't play the bolt. it's still allowing Mike to wait a turn, or to gain another turn, rather. So Jonathan's going to fetch out his Steam Vents. And end of turn, Lightning Bolt the Spellskite. So now if Mike, this is at the end of Mike's turn, now if Mike Quarter Callings, he'll just bolt again in response. And so Mike sees what's going on. He's going to Quarter Calling for 2, get that Aether's Horn Canonist.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan spent 2 of his bolts already.
Can't imagine he's got a third.
It'd be pretty rough for him to, yeah, it'd be pretty.
And it's unfortunate for Jonathan that the Slaughter Pact in his hand can't get rid of that Aether's Horn Canonist. Non-black, non-artifact is what Slaughter Pact does, I believe.
Excellent analysis from the Ben Swartz.
14? Yep.
I won with Hive Mind. An
SCG Open.
Oh, no, it's just non-black. It can't get rid of the... Ooh.
So, not so excellent analysis from the Ben Swartz.
So, yeah, on his turn, he's going to Slaughter Pact the Aether's Horn Canonist, play Seething Song, tap the extra mana for Hive Mind, Slaughter Pact the Kitchen Finks, and Mike doesn't have any black mana. Oh, he's got Pact of the Titan anyway, and a Slaughter Pact. Mike doesn't have enough mana to pay for both of these packs.
There it is. So, a quick 2 games for Jonathan Benson over Mike Vasovski.
One play, but wouldn't have mattered, right?
Playing a Hive Mind deck. Going into round 14 with only 2 losses in striking distance of the top 8. There you go.
This seemed, I mean,